Hi, everybody. Gene here. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where every single episode we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and EFT so you can get the most out of your tapping practice, eliminate self-sabotage, and take the action that you want. For the month of November, I am doing a 30-day tapping challenge where every single day I am posting a tap along video on YouTube that I would encourage you to come and tap along with me to help you to take action. To sign up for it, all you need to do, it's absolutely free, is go to tappingqa.com/30-day. That's tappingqa.com/30-day. And I look forward to tapping with you all this month. This is Gene Monteristilli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 401, originally aired January 26th, 2011, re-recorded and remastered for November 4th, 2019. Hi, everyone. I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Today, I have a special kind of audio for you. And what that audio is it's an actual session that I did with a client. So you can hear me working one-on-one, but as you'll hear just in a moment, I also have a little device in the audio where I'm going to interrupt the tapping and explain to you what I was thinking or why I made the choices I was making as we were tapping along. So it's almost as if you get two things at once. You get me tapping with a client and you get the director's commentary of that, so you can see what's going on. So this is me tapping with a client on an emotional eating issue. In these audios, you get the opportunity to hear me working one-on-one with real clients on real issues. Whenever you hear this sound, that will let you know that I'm about to provide some insight or an interjection onto why I'm making the choices that I'm making or how I understand what is going on. So let's get into today's audio. What I want you to do is to start out by tapping on the side of your hand, take a nice big deep breath.
Okay.
And I want you to tap under the eye, and I just want you to feel yourself grounded in your body.
Okay, I feel like I have roots coming down and out of my feet.
And as you tap on the collarbone, I want you to feel yourself also kind of grounded in this moment.
Okay, I'm grounded.
Good. And with fist, what I want you to do is I want you to tap in the middle of your chest. And I just want you to tune into the amazing healing power of the body and all of those things that happen unconsciously and subconsciously all day. It doesn't always work perfectly, but there's so much that's going on in there to keep us safe and healthy that we don't even think about, and that's a really good thing. And as you tap on the chin, just recognize the time that we're going to spend together is a safe time to heal. And any of the information that the system brings forward in the form of limiting beliefs or memories or thoughts, there's no judgment here. All that's good information. Just recognize that this is a time for healing and a time for moving back into balance. And what's more important than what led us to this moment is what's happening in this moment and what's going to happen after. Now, that first little bit is by very, very standard and typical introduction when I'm beginning a session, be it with a client or myself. And you'll notice we did a number of things there. First of all, we tapped in a number of places to clear reversals. What we did is we tapped on the side of the hand. We did some stuff under the eye, on the collarbone, tapping on the chest. And what I found is doing that is really going to get the system clear and open so that we can start the procedure. Then you'll notice what we did is we spent a little time tapping on the chin. And while we were tapping on the chin, what we did is we tuned into the fact that through this procedure, information is going to come forward because we're going to get information from the system in lots of different ways. And it's really important to let the system know that it's safe for us to do that and it's safe for us to heal. And by going through this process, what I found it does is it helps us to be grounded in this moment, to be grounded in our body, and to create a space that's safe, that's going to allow us to continue the healing process in a way that's going to allow us to do it smoother and gentler than if we just jumped into it. So this is a way that I start almost every session I do or when I'm tapping by myself. And as you tap on the side of the eye, I want you to tune into initially the emotions you have around that trigger point. When you get to a certain spot and all of a sudden the emotional mindless eating starts happening. And as you tap on the eyebrow, what do you notice as you tune into that? Is it frustration? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it all those?
It feels like a restlessness.
Okay.
It feels like I'm looking for something and I'm not sure what it is.
Great. And as you tap onto the nose, how do you know you feel restless? Is it thoughts? Is it an uneasy feeling in the body? Is it butterflies in the stomach? What does restless feel like?
That I feel like I want to escape from being myself.
Yeah. Now, the first question that we asked about it was pretty straightforward. I had her simply tune into what it's like to reach that set point, where she gets to the point where she no longer loses weight, and when she gets to that place, her body makes sure that she continues to mindlessly eat to hold in that place. So once she tuned into that, I asked her, so what does it feel like? Because oftentimes, how we know we feel something is going to provide us information. And here, she basically skipped a step. Instead of telling us how she knows she felt that way, she gave us more information. She gave us a sense, well, there's this real restlessness. And so in just taking the moment to tune in to understand what the emotion was like by getting ourselves to focus a little deeper, all of a sudden, more specific information came forward, which is going to move us towards healing. And so as you tap on the chin, just tune into that wanting to escape feeling. And the first thing I want you to do is I just want you to thank it for trying to keep you safe. It doesn't mean that it is keeping you safe, but that's its intention. It's actually motivated by safety in some way. Now, what we just did there in that quick little step is something that I think is critically important. That we identified something inside of the system that isn't acting in a healthy way. That it's acting in a fashion that's causing her to emotionally eat because she's not able to lose any more weight. But it's doing it for a very specific reason. Now, at this point, we don't understand what that reason is, but we understand the system is trying to do something beneficial and helpful because the system is always trying to do something beneficial and helpful. Now, it might be misinformed in what is beneficial and helpful, and it might not be trying to do beneficial and helpful in a helpful way, but if we're able to initially engage that part of the system and say, I appreciate that you're trying to do something good. And you'll notice as we were tapping, we tapped on, we're not saying that we appreciate the outcome. We're not appreciating the tactic, but we're appreciating the system is trying to do this. And what I found this does is it moves us away from battling our system, but it gets us a chance to open it up because now we're in a dialogue that's going to allow us to work with the system and understand why it's doing what it's doing. As you tap on the side of the hand, how does that trying to escape feeling respond to a little affirmation?
It's actually bringing up a sense of anxiety in the pit of my stomach.
Yeah. Now, on the surface, the fact that we think it brought up more anxiety might not look like a good thing, but remember, our goal is to tune into what's going on, and we need to remember what's there, find the information. So heightening the emotion isn't necessarily a bad thing, because what it's helping us to do is it's helping us to tune in really specifically to what's going on. And as you tap under the arm, this part that wants to escape and really nervous, ask it what proof it has that there's something here that's dangerous. This is one of my favorite questions to ask, because what this is going to do is it's going to give us direct information if there's a memory that says something is unsafe, which we can tap on.
It's telling me that everything is dangerous, that nothing's safe, and that I can't trust anything.
Okay, and as you tap on the collarbone, ask it what proof it has that that's the case, that everything is dangerous.
It's telling me that it doesn't have proof, but it doesn't need proof.
And as you tap on the chin, ask it why it doesn't need proof.
It's telling me that it's about feelings, and that proof is about thoughts.
Okay. And as you tap on the side of the eye, take a deep breath. So we were presented with some interesting information when we asked it what sort of proof it had. It said that it doesn't need proof. Proof is about thoughts, and this is something that's much more about feelings. And so when she said that, the next thing I had her do is I said, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to tap on this next point, and I want you to take a deep breath. Typically in a session, when I'm doing something like that, what I'm doing is going, okay, we've hit an interesting fork here that I'm not getting the typical type of information that I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my client relax and take a nice, easy, deep breath. And what this is going to do is it's going to buy me just a little bit of time so I can think about, okay, what's going to make the most sense for our approach as we're moving forward. And that's really important when we're working with clients, is we don't necessarily have to have answers right away, because it's a process that we're working through together. And so what I give myself permission to do is know, okay, I don't know exactly what the next step is. I'm going to give myself a sense to think, to go back through my history, my experience, and see where we're going to go forward. So what I want you to do is I want you to tap on this point, take a nice deep breath. They're able to relax. You're able to enjoy that moment and bring down the anxiety a little bit, and we can figure what the next step is. And as you tap on the eyebrow, present it with some of the information that you know about some of the safety that's in the world. And just let me know when you finish sharing that.
Okay, I have.
Okay. And as you tap on the chin, how does it respond to that?
Kind of begrudgingly that, okay, well, sometimes there's safety.
And as you tap on the side of the hand, ask it if it's willing to calm down just a little bit in its need to be vigilant every moment of the day.
It says a little.
Okay, great. As you tap on the collarbone, take a nice deep breath for me. And in just a moment, we're going to tune into some information that has everything to do with why it thinks the world is so unsafe. As you tap on the side of the eye, it might be a song, a word, a sound, a memory. As you tap onto the eye on the count of 3, we're just going to let it come forward. Chin, 1, 2, 3. And as you tap on the collarbone, just let information come forward. Don't judge it and don't try and process it. As you tap on the side of the hand, just let it unfold, and maybe no information becomes immediately apparent, and that's okay too. So that trick right there of counting to 3 and asking information to come forward is one of my favorite tools to use when we're trying to figure out if there is a specific memory, a specific age, a specific something associated with the feeling, and we're not getting a really specific piece of information when we ask the feeling, well, why are you here? Well, the world's scary. And so by saying, well, what we're going to do is on the count of 3, we're just going to give the system information and an opportunity to bring that information forward so we can process it. you'll hear in the example I listed lots of ways. It could be a song, a sound, a memory, a physical sensation. And I also gave him permission to know that it's okay if no information comes forward at all. You'll see also that I say that as the information comes forward, don't try and judge it. Don't try and understand it. Simply let it unfold. Now, some of the time, and maybe 40% of the time when we do this, we'll get no information at all, and that's fine. But other times when we do something like this, something surprising comes forward, which gives us an opportunity to approach the problem in a new way. As you tap on the side of the eye, what do you notice?
I'm noticing a correlation between a past experience where on the outside I had no control over someone touching me against my will.
Great.
And I perceived it as not having control over my body. And when I overeat like this, I feel like I don't have control over my own body.
Great. Okay. So as you tap on the chin, I want you to tune into that instant and that moment. And as you tap on the collarbone, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to tune into the you that's in that memory. And I want you to let that you know that right now she's safe and she's cared for, and you're here for her. So you can see very quickly what we've done is we've been able to move to a very specific instance. Now, at this point, as practitioner, I have no idea what that instance is, and that's okay. You know, what's important is that she's able to tune into it and we start finding information from it. Now, the first thing that I like to do whenever we turn into a memory and we tune into a part of us that's much younger, the first thing I like to do is I like to have the conscious mind part that's tuning into this memory is to tune into the younger person. Either we're doing it on ourselves, the younger us, or when the client's doing it for themselves. And the first thing we want to do is we want to assure them that they're safe, they're protected, and nothing more dangerous can happen to them. And just like before where we did things by giving thanks, we're creating that sense of trust. In this circumstance, what we're doing again is when we're working with our younger self, we're giving ourselves the opportunity to understand that this isn't a dangerous thing for us to move forward into, that it's safe, which is allow us to be able to draw more information out, to allow us to be able to find exactly what we need to be tapping on. And as you tap on the side of the hand, how does the younger you respond to that?
Actually with skepticism.
Okay, great. And as you tap onto the arm, ask her why she's skeptical about that fact.
She's not sure why anyone would care.
Okay. As you tap on the collarbone, let her know that you understand what she's gone through and you care. As you tap on the chin, let her know that she's worthy of your care and your love. And as you tap onto the eye, how does she respond to that?
She's saying that she's never felt worthy of love.
Mm-hmm. And as you tap on the eyebrow, ask her why that's the case. What proof does she have that she's not worthy?
Because she gets angry and she feels mean inside and she doesn't know where it comes from, and it feels wrong, and it goes back to when she used to throw her dolls against the wall because they were bad.
And so as you tap,
it's really little.
Yeah. So as you tap on the side of the hand, let her know that anger is natural and normal. Collarbone, we feel angry when we feel attacked and we're trying to protect ourselves. It's an energy to keep us safe. As you tap on the chin, and sometimes when we feel angry, it might be over things that really aren't attacking us, but that's a part of us that's just trying to keep us safe and is just working too hard. I find it very effective that when we bump into emotions when we're tapping, to work to a place where we're normalizing those emotions. That when we tap, we're not trying to move ourselves to where we no longer feel emotions, but what we're trying to do is move to a place where we're no longer having a disproportionate response or the emotions aren't charging too much. And so when we engage those emotions to be able to say, you know what, it's okay, I feel this, but I'm trying to work to a place that makes it easier for me to respond appropriately, because oftentimes our negative charge towards an instant isn't necessarily what we're feeling, but how we feel about how we're feeling. It's not that I feel angry, but I feel bad because I was too angry and it made me do silly things. And so by normalizing that, it gives us the opportunity to understand why the anger was there. And when we understand why it's there, then we can start to heal it. Onto the nose, that when we feel angry, it's okay. And that doesn't mean that we are unworthy of love. Side of the eye. Let the younger you know about the people who you love, who you know get angry too. As you tap on the eyebrow, how does she respond to that new information?
She acknowledges that it doesn't necessarily make her bad if it's normal, but it really, really bothers her that she can't control it, that she can't stop herself from being angry, and that it seems to come out without it necessarily making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And she's scared of not anything that she can't control.
Yeah. And so as you tap on the chin, just let her know that's why you do work like this. Collarbone to heal those issues that are underlying the disproportionate anger. Side of the hand, and every single time there's a little bit of an angry outburst, it's an opportunity to do a little more healing so it doesn't happen so dramatically in the future. As you tap under the arm again, reminder that there's no sense of judgment here. That you want what's best for her and you want her to heal and you want her to feel loved and accepted. Collarbone, let her know that she doesn't have to be perfect to be loved and accepted. Side of the eye, but that she's loved and accepted, which makes it so that she can heal. As you tap under the eye, how does she respond to that?
The response is, but I've always been cherished for my accomplishments and for what I do well.
As you tap on the chin, let her know that her worth is intrinsic. It's not something that she earns. That people can appreciate the things that she does, but that doesn't increase or decrease her value. Her worth never changes. Sometimes people just recognize certain things we do because of their narrow view, but it doesn't change that we're worthy of love. That's another real key part of my disposition when it comes to the healing process. This idea of the distinction between deserving something and worthy of something. Deserving of something means that we've done something to merit. Worthy means that we're made for it. And I found in the healing process, it's really good if we're able to undercover and highlight the parts of ourselves of who we truly are. And this is something that we can do when we're just tapping on our own to recognize I'm worthy of love. I'm created for love. I'm worthy of success. I'm created for success, by looking at it in those terms, because then we're able to move away from the choices we've made in the past or the experiences we've made in the past that we might not have had total control over, and look to see who we are so we can build health out of that. And as you tap in the call upon, how does she respond to that?
It's uncomfortable because if she lets go of judging herself for not being perfect, then what motivation is there to do any better at anything?
Yeah. So as you tap in this side of the hand, appreciate the fact that she wants to be better and do better. Now, that's a great thing to strive for. Anytime that we can highlight a motivation of a part that isn't functioning properly, but the motivation is really good, if we can do that, again, it's going to allow us to open the door of communication, really allow us to transform it, because what it's going to do is it's going to change our disposition about it so we have less negative charge about what's going on. And since we're recognizing the good in that part, we're going to be able to start working towards transforming it, because we're starting to recognize that it's a partnership between that motivation and consciously what we're desiring. I hope you found that interesting and useful, getting a chance to not only see tapping in practice, but to hear what I was thinking and why I was making the choices I was making. When we are learning from someone else, we don't always have the opportunity to understand their intention, and we have to be guessing. And so from time to time, I like being able to teach in this particular way. If you like this sort of audio, let me know. If I get enough feedback, I will certainly do more of these in the future. Just drop me a note, Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com. If you know someone in your life who could use or appreciate an audio like this, someone who's trying to improve their tapping, or someone who just needs to do a little tapping on emotional eating, please, please, please be our ambassador. Pass it along. Don't spam your inbox and send it to every single person in the world. But if you know someone who would benefit and appreciate something like this, be our ambassador. Because the number one way someone finds a new resource is from a recommendation of a friend, and it would mean the world to me if you were willing to do that. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, I'd encourage you to do so. And remember, in podcasting parlance, subscribe is free. Yes, there are services that charge for audio, but anything that is a true podcast is free wherever you get podcasts. Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Pandora, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Luminary. If you listen to podcasts, you will be able to find the Tapping Q&A podcast there. If you have a question, a comment, or a topic you would like us to cover in the future, please drop me a note. I love hearing from people just like you. I can always be reached, Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com. Or if you just go up to the contact link on the website, click on that, and I will get that message. I love hearing from you. Also, haven't you done so, check out our entire archive. We have over 450 episodes waiting in the archive for you. Just go to tappingpodcast.com. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli, Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli or Tapping Q&A.